Good afternoon, and welcome to another flimsy version of Diatribes from the voice of doom. Now here's your flummoxed and flamboyant host, Voice of Doom. Hello. Alright, I'm going to do another diatribe because, for no other reason than I like watching myself. So I'll do this for me and just continue doing diatribes now and again so I can regale at watching myself on the big screen. But since my last diatribe was more or less an overview of the evolution of our doom, which is coming, I figured I'd continue with a foreign policy or foreign pathology diatribe, because that seems to be our main concern right now, is taking care of foreigners everywhere, using all our resources as much as we can to help everyone in the world except for indigenous Americans, people born here. Okay, now what's going on? Well, we have this guy named Mike Johnson. I guess he's the Speaker of the House, and he replaced Kevin McCarthy when McCarthy was not doing the bidding of the Freedom Caucus in the Congress. Okay. Now, the Freedom Caucus is made up of a bunch of people that are very conservative and want to secure the border for real. That means nobody can come in willy-nilly. You have to be processed, and that could take years to even get your foot in the door. Just like the old days when people wanted to become citizens, they do their applications and they pay all kinds of fees and they take tests and they wait and wait and wait for years until they're allowed to come over and be citizens. It's not like that now, obviously. I'm not going to go into detail. We know how the border is. Everyone's coming in from everywhere. They're bringing anything. So there will be all kinds of repercussions from that, and everybody knows it. But foreign aid. Now, I could go either way on this, but what this Mike character decided he was going to do to show he's a tough guy and he means business is make an ultimatum that we're not going to okay any foreign aid to Israel, Ukraine, or the South China, Southeast Asia area until something's done about the border. So the D's come up with a great idea that we have legislation for the border. We're going to process people faster. We're going to allocate billions of dollars to get more judges and more pencil pushers to get these people through faster. So you see, we're doing something. And Orangey torpedoed it, so he's not interested at all in the border. And we tried to solve it. You had your chance, so we can't do it. So Mike says, okay, we'll give you the aid anyway for Ukraine and Israel, etc. Because, what's his reasoning? Well, we'd rather send bullets to Ukraine than troops, American boys. Which he's implying that if Ukraine starts to lose, then we're going to send U.S. troops to Ukraine. Now that would be bad enough. I think people would be very, very aghast about that if many, many troops were going, aka a la Afghanistan or Iraq, to have their limbs blown off and be killed for a cause that may or may not be just. But what would be even funnier is if Petrie or some other person decided to instill or install a draft because there's not enough people in our armed forces to do the job. Oh, that would be wonderful. I can't wait to see the look on Gen Z's faces when not only are they on the street chanting death to America and we are Hamas and we're with Hamas, but then they start getting drafted. It would be Vietnam era on steroids. I mean, no building would be left standing in America if that happened, or what used to be America. So, that's ridiculous at its outset. There's not going to be any draft or any troops from America aside from advisors going to Ukraine. And then other idiots, especially copper idiots, say, well, if Ukraine, if Russia, Putin succeeds in Ukraine, he's going to go straight for Poland and Germany. Now, from what I'm seeing, Putin's having a hard time even keeping the damn regions of Ukraine that want to be Russian. He can't even keep those. And I know that he possibly could use very huge weapons to put an end to this conflict once and for all by atomizing Kyiv and Lviv. Atomize both of them, and then moving into some desolate wasteland of fallout, of radiation, poisoned land, and take over. Okay, I think he could do that. He wants to take the Donbass, he wants to take these regions, and then maybe, down the line, if he lives long enough, he might actually absorb all of Ukraine. He might get some person installed to be sympathetic to Russia. Could happen. But I just don't see how Putin's going to be marching through Poland and Germany. I think that's just a miserable fantasy, or just a way to make people think that we're in danger, we're saving democracy by helping Ukraine. Now, on the other side of the coin, on the other side, we have Israel that was blatantly attacked by Hamas, and Israel has replied in a way that says, we want all of you out, which means we have to blow the living crap out of your area until every one of you is either dead or gone. And we are playing both sides of the coin. We're helping Iran to have proxies, and we're helping Iran to attack Israel directly, which we've seen. So the beat goes on, and Gaza's getting leveled, and now the kids and the Zers and the idiots, wokesters, are out in the street saying we're with Hamas. So they have no idea what they're talking about, because they'd be the first one to go. If Hamas actually took hold in America, they'd be the first one to be thrown off buildings or burned at the stake, which is always what happens with these people. The loud revolutionaries are always the first ones to be gotten rid of. Look at World War II, the SA. See, Schicklgruber created havoc with the SA so that people were begging for control until the Nazis finally gained control because the people wanted it, and then they got rid of the SA in a very draconian way. Okay, same thing always happens. The wokesters will be executed, which is something we can look forward to. But getting back to Israel now, I look at this as kind of a chess game. War is not war like World War II. That was the last war where you actually pitted one side against the other and they went at it. And it didn't even necessarily happen in the Western Front. That was more a war of attrition. In the Eastern Front, that was more one-on-one, one army against another. And millions people died. Okay. But ever since then, we've been having these wars that are more, let's just take this area, let's take this hill, let's blow up this installation. I mean, you see Israel bombing the hell out of Gaza. You don't see Gaza bombing the hell out of Israel. They can lob rockets over there, but it's a very lopsided fight. So it's just a matter of how long will it take to get rid of Hamas completely, or have them have a change of heart. And then I guess Israel decided they were going to attack the embassy in Damascus, which is in Syria, which is a different country. And whether or not that was a conduit for weaponry or not, they still bombed it. And it's not that you can't do that. That's against the rules. And Iran, by our goading, which if you ever notice, you'll notice that what used to be America is always goading someone else to fight back. And then saying, you know, don't escalate. But they're like, look what they did. Come on, Iran, look what they did. So Iran rains down a whole bunch of drones and missiles on top of Israel, and Israel shoots down most of them. But we got to replenish their stock, don't we, if they're going to keep on doing that. And then Israel, was Israel going to fight back? And America, what used to be, is like, come on, Israel, are you going to do something? Don't escalate things, but hey, they just bombed you. You're going to, you know, come on, Israel. So Israel fights back and bombs Iran proper, takes out a few installations, and sends a message to Iran, we can bomb you at will. Now, if it was me in charge, I would bomb the mullahs. I would find out where they were going to have a meeting, and I would bomb the whole place to smithereens. Then the mullahs would be gone, the people in Iran would take the opportunity to rise up, and what became of that, we will see, but that's what I would do. But that's me. I'd want to nip it in the bud. But speaking of me, if people want to get smart, and if people want to know why we have 6 months before a major black swan event happens and a major conflagration, I will tell you, watch The Godfather and learn. And there's many documentarian YouTube channels which analyze The Godfather down to the last prop on the cat's ass in the office. They've analyzed every single damn piece of lint in that movie. But there are certain rules that The Godfather goes by, and it's one of the rules is think like your enemies think. Now, let's talk about enemies. Putin, Happiness, Xi, Kim Jong, whatever the hell his name is, and the mullahs. Okay, they're the enemies. Now, if I'm the enemy, and I'm looking at what used to be American politics, and I see an election coming, and I'm really not sure what's going to be the outcome. It looks like this orangey guy might get another term, and he's a little more heavy-handed with us enemies than Petri dish. Now, there's going to be an election in 6 months. I don't think so, but let's just say for the common herd, there's going to be an election in 2024. Okay. I'm an enemy. Do I wait? I'm going to wait and see what happens before I make a move. I'm not going to do anything yet while Petri Dish, who's a total incompetent, corrupt, demonic boob, is in office. No, I'm going to think like my enemies think, and I'm going to think, yeah, I'm going to make my move in the next 6 months. It's obvious. And it'd probably be in the summertime, probably around the time of the DNC convention when that whole thing blows up. That'll be fun to watch. I can't wait, because the D's always get it in the butt during election times when it comes to the wokesters. They never do anything to the Republican Gopper conventions. They go to the DNC and blow it up. And in Chicago, again, history repeats. So that's why I predict we have 6 months. Sometime between now and then, something's going to happen big. And it's only because our enemies have to take advantage of our ridiculous foreign pathology that we have now. And I also make one more prediction. I predict Zelensky will probably abdicate his position about 10 minutes after that multi-billion-dollar aid gets to his pocket. I think as soon as that money goes through, Ukraine will throw in the towel, and Putin will get whatever the hell he wanted. And I don't think he's going to go after Poland after that. And as far as Israel goes, they're going to be attacked from all sides for a while, and they're going to have to fight back. And at least the military-industrial is going to be in good shape, which the government has already admitted openly that we don't have to worry about foreign aid going to other countries because it's going to the military-industrial complex. They've said it outright. So I just want to hear myself, so I'll leave it there. It's 16 minutes, and I think I said a few things to give you some things to think about. And I'll keep doing diatribes here and there. If something big's going to happen, then I'll have a comment, and we'll talk about it as we're clearing the rubble and scurrying around. All right, I'll leave it there. Goodbye.